it is time to go. I guess this is the shakedown ride. I'm going to try to ride about 45 miles, 44 miles, something like that, one way, down to the 2427, which is the southern terminus of the Uwharrie Trail. And it's pretty chilly this morning. It's like lower 40s. And I've got the bike all set up here and ready to ride my $250. Stop to take a little break here. I think I'm almost to the 2427 trailhead down here, somewhere on Mount Carmel Church Road, and my stomach was getting a little empty, so stopped and ate a granola bar. But so far so good. Got a little bit of adjustment to do on the derailleur on the bike. And one of my water bottles has fallen out of the back here a couple of times. Other than that, good trip so far. Well, made it back. Had some problems in my helmet mount, so I ended up having to take that off at lunchtime, so I didn't get as much footage on the way back. Alright folks, so probably the last day I'm going to run stadiums today, and maybe the first day that I'll actually get decent video that can be used. Anyways, so it's finally turned hot. It's, getting toward the end of May. I'm going to be starting the trail in about a week and a half from now, which is incredible. And, show you what I've been doing with some stadiums. that's it. Alright, so this is Shakedown Hike Day. Alright, so I remembered something. Weighed my pack yesterday, and I got 20, aha, that'd be nice. Got 37.6 pounds of gear. So some people would say, oh my gosh, that's heavy, and it is kind of heavy. That's got water in it already. I've got about 3 liters of water in the pack right now, which, you know, again, depending on who you are, you might say, wow, that's too much.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto US 64 East.
Oh, Shepherd Mountain over there. I think that's Shepherd. I have to think about where I'm at for a minute. Yeah, that's Shepherd Mountain. Anyways, yep. So, got the pack loaded. Without the water in it, I guess I'd be down in the low 30s, which isn't too bad. Maybe I'll go through and do some gear here in a little bit, but yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm here in the parking lot at the Jumping Off Rock trailhead, and not a whole lot going on here this morning. Little campsite over there, and yeah, I'm gonna get started off going up the mountain here this morning, and I'm gonna see how long I can GPS track today on my Avenza app, and we'll go from there, see how it saps the battery or doesn't. Have you ever been out in the woods and you smell that stinky smell? Look around and you should be able to find this plant called Galax, and there's a bunch of it here. Alright, so that's where I came from, and if I turn and look up the hill here, which it probably doesn't show on the camera, this is pretty steep stuff here. I mean, there's, you know, the trees are straight up and down, and then, yeah, it's panning over horizontally. So, I believe this is called Dark Mountain here, coming up from the Jumping Off Rock trailhead, and I don't know why it's called Dark Mountain, but it's pretty rocky, pretty hilly. It's given me a good chance to try out my trekking poles, which are nothing special. They came from Walmart. I took the little rubber cappies off, and using that carbide tip down there to get a good grip. And I feel like I've been missing trekking poles my whole life. Hiked an awful lot without them, and this is seems to be pretty helpful, especially for this stuff. So let's keep rolling. Well, it is just beautiful out here this morning. I think I'm up somewhere in the vicinity of on top of Dark Mountain, maybe. And past a couple of hikers coming out. There's only one other car in the parking lot, so I'm assuming those are the people. They could be through hikers going further north on the Uwharrie Trail, but, you know, go figure. Little breeze. You can definitely tell it's going to get hot today. And we'll keep at it. Alright, so I've come down off of the mountain, and I'm kind of walking through this, I guess you'd call it kind of swampy bottomland here. And when it's rained recently, this is pretty rough going here, but you can see it is more or less dry down here. There's a little bit of mud here. work my way through there. A little detour over to the side there that's easier to pass when it's wet, but just kind of keep on rolling through here. I think I've done about 1.5 miles so far. Alright, so I have made it to road 1134. I haven't seen a tremendous amount of wildlife. I've been out here hiking the Uwharrie Trail. It's not that uncommon to come across something here or there. I got a turtle friend down here. I heard him rustling around in the woods. And I won't try to identify that, but... Oh! Turtles that look like that are pretty common around here. So I guess it's worth taking a moment to actually talk about the purpose of what I'm doing here. So I'm about a week out, I guess 8 days, maybe 9 days from starting the Mountains to Sea Trail. And I really wanted to do the shakedown hike sooner, but circumstances did not allow. But my concern is this: I haven't done any long distance hiking in a pretty good while. I want to say the end of last summer I did the Uwharrie Trail in, it was a little more than 48 hours. 3 days, 2 nights, not a whole day on the last day. And that was fine. I didn't really do anything for the record books on that one. In fact, I let my feet get wet the second day and got some pretty gnarly blisters. And it was stupid because I knew my feet were wet. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. Which every time you have a mistake like that, you learn a lesson. That's what it is. So anyways, I'm looking at a lot of 15 to 25 mile days on the Mountains to Sea Trail this summer. And I've done a lot in the 15 to 20 range. And to be truth be told, there's not a lot of 20 plus days on my schedule, but there are a few. And long story short is I want to make sure that all the training I've done is going to prepare me to actually do some high mileage days. Tried not to schedule high mileage on days when I had a tremendous amount of up and down, so tried to be smart about that. But Uwharrie's more than any other place I've gone. I mean, I've gone out a number of times to the Shining Rock Wilderness. I mean, it's not like that's a cakewalk of hiking, especially some of the places I've gone in. Now, you got some pretty steep climbs, long climbs. Well, here I am, still southbound. New signage here. You can still smell the paint on it, in fact. This is great. So if Uwharrie Trailblazers or whoever's responsible for this, this thing is fantastic. Yeah, it looks like West Morris Mountain Campground is up that way. And I'm going to keep going south, and I've got about 2 miles left to get to the 109 trailhead, which was my goal for lunch. Alright, so it's about 1:30. Just got done with lunch. Nice and relaxing there by the stream. Got my feet clean and dry. That's another tip is, one, if you're going to wash your feet, probably just go ahead and do it before you sit down. That gives them time to dry. And then yeah, there's been some times I've soaked my feet in the stream. That feels good, but putting wrinkly feet in the socks and hiking in them, especially if it's hot outside, not a good recipe. That's how I got my feet blistered was last summer. So we know. Alright, I can't resist an educational opportunity here. So it looks like the Forest Service has done a controlled burn in this area up in front of me. And so they've got a fire break cut in around here. This road probably had a bulldozer or something push that through. And they went through and just burned the underbrush here. And that makes the chances of having large-scale wildfires less. And it also kind of promotes new growth. This will all bud back out. And I've heard land managers talk about how small game, turkey and such, really like it when there's new growth budding out. So a little bit of a change in the landscape, but I've still got the white blaze to follow along. And let's see, right now I am between the north and the middle junction of Uwharrie and Dutchman's Creek trails. I'm on the Uwharrie Trail and trying to cruise along and get done before it gets too dark. The water out here has an aftertaste. I think it tastes like dirt. This isn't too bad. I've had worse. I've also had better. Well, I made it to the 24-27 trailhead here. Probably going to go out there and take another picture with the sign. And if you say, that sounds familiar, that's where I rode on my bike not too long ago. I think the Uwharrie Trail peels off down there, but I may walk around a little bit just to make sure. I don't really remember. Alright, so I am camped up here. I'm guessing that this is the Wood Run Creek that I'm beside. Not really sure. Might verify that tomorrow. It started raining a little bit. I chickened out and stopped after 21.5 miles. And cooked up some Mountain House. Never done freeze-dried food before. Tried it out this time. I liked it pretty good. So I'm looking forward to more of that stuff. Had a little bit of ramen with supper, some gummies, granola bar. Ate until I was full. So hopefully get up and get moving in the morning. And Can't remember if I got any footage of the campsite last night, so I figured I'd do just a little bit this morning. Pretty nice little place. The stream here definitely is a babbling brook, in the sense that it kind of sounds like, occasionally it'll sound like somebody saying something. She's a little bit freaky, but anyways. Alright, breakfast time. Cook up something to eat here, and then I'll get on the way. It is beautiful out here this morning. On the Uwharrie Trail, maybe 4 miles up, a little more than 4 miles up from the 2427 trailhead. And I'm cruising along down the hill. Passed over Dennis Mountain a little while ago. Trying to keep the blisters on my feet from getting any bigger, and wishing I'd bought these shoes about a size bigger or got them in the wide, but anyways, we'll keep on rolling. Alright, we're starting to get into what I consider to be the most remote and rugged area of the Uwharrie National Forest, at least that's accessible by trail. And that is I'm on the Dutchman's Creek Trail right now, heading down, and eventually I'm going to come across this hallucination hill over here, but I think I'm almost to it. Now, the first time I came through here, this is a really nice area. There's couple of small campsites back that way, bigger one just after you descend down beside the creek here. And you know, in the past, at least the first time I hiked this, for whatever reason I thought the trail went down that way. So I kept going that way for a ways and realized that the trail did not go that way. It goes up. And it's a pretty technical up there. Like some places where you start wondering what's the difference between hiking and rock climbing. Alright, so here's what I'm talking about. So this is approximately level for reference. And then here's the trail. And it just goes up. And it's blazed much better than it used to be. But yeah, it goes up and over this mountain and then over a few more mountains. And eventually you get back to the Uwharrie Trail. This is one of the weirdest parts of the trail to me. On the very edge of the forest property, as far as I can tell. See a lot of no trespassing signs. Might even see some as I go through here. But this is kind of a thicket of laurel, and there's some holly in here. Well, maybe I saw some earlier. And it's just up and down, up and down. Alright, so I just crossed the dusty level road. Out here cruising, says 2.9 miles to the 109 trailhead, 11 to Flint Hill Road, which is the one I'm parked on, State Road 1306. So that's a lot of miles. Certainly not the most glamorous thing I've ever recorded, but we definitely have some dung beetles, or at least beetles that like dung around here. Alright, I think I just saw, maybe saw a glimmer of a car in the parking lot. Might be hallucinating, who knows. So it looks like I'm going to finish the 43-mile hike that I did in about 36 hours, which is definitely the fastest I've ever done it. I've done the same hike, starting from jumping off rock trailhead here and doing some variation of the figure 8 down with the Dutchman's Creek and Uwharrie Trails down kind of on the southern end of things. Done that 3 times now. I think I was hallucinating. I thought I saw the cars. I am close though. Anyways, this was definitely the fastest. By quite a bit actually, because I've never done it only spending one night, and I would have gotten out a little bit earlier if I'd hiked further last night, but I decided to stop. It looked like it was going to rain. Alright, there's the parking lot. Finally made it.